Hi, this is Andrew Malkoski with the Denver 100, and I am here again hanging out with my good friend Shelley Lazear with the Third Half Retirement Coaching. Thank you so much for being here. Before we were talking a little bit about how you are helping people plan for all of the parts of retirement that aren't the financial things, right? So, and you had mentioned a little bit and alluded to, but when is the right time for somebody who is either thinking about retiring, is already retired? When is the ideal time that these people should be coming to see you to start that process?
I think traditionally people started thinking about retirement mid-50s.
Okay.
Kind of like, can I do this for another 20 years?
Sure.
And that's when in adult development too, that's when retirement starts becoming more real and on the horizon. But I started thinking about this question when you said it to me, and I thought, in this stage and age of tech and, billionaires popping up from new ventures, that I don't know, maybe people will start thinking about it in their 40s because they've sold their businesses and they've been in this luxurious life, but they don't know what's after that either.
Okay.
Traditionally, it's 55.
All right.
I no longer put an age limit on when it may end because of COVID, because people are starting to realize that they like working or that they may need to continue working. That end number is when they decide that they're done working.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So my neighbor's 80 years old. He has a flourishing business. He loves what he does, and he's not planning on retiring. My husband and I are both, he's older than I am. He's 69 and I'll be 69 next month. But, we don't see any reason to retire, not because we can't, but because we really do like working and we've chosen work that we've loved. And we've been in our respective professions for a long time.
Very nice. So tell us a little bit about the process. When somebody does come to you for the first time, what is the overall process look like? What are you asking them? How are you determining what they want to do? Show us a little bit about what that's about.
I'm going to give you a two-part answer. And
Great.
First part is, I offer a 45-minute complimentary meeting with people. I work virtually and in person. I have an office on Dayton. And the first time we meet, I want them to get a sense of who I am.
Sure.
I want to get a beginning sense of where they are in the process of retirement, meaning how long have they been thinking about it? What ideas do they have for their retirement? Where's their spouse in all this?
Sure.
Because sometimes spouses haven't really talked about it. And if you have one person who's retired and the other person isn't retired, that can cause some conflict. And you may have one person who says, I'm moving to Mozambique, and the other person says, I have no interest. So we got to get some of the
everybody on the right page.
Set.
Yeah.
So I do work with individuals and couples, and I have also done group presentations too. So then once we get a sense of that and they are willing to make a commitment, I really work my services are all individualized. I'm not a cookie cutter coach. And so, but I do have a way of people can, if they just want to dip their toe in, they're a little nervous. They've never seen a coach. They've never seen someone who can help them through their problems. I offer a two-session model, with outside of the complimentary meeting with an assessment, a standardized assessment that helps them look at where they are in planning for their retirement, meaning the answers are graded on a red, green, and yellow score.
Okay.
So they can walk out and say, oh, I'm really good financially. I know where I am financially. But there are other areas that I have some work to do. And then I offer a 4-session model and an 8-session model. And I offer individual sessions if that's what they want to do. I've had people kind of tiptoe in at different stages, and they do a lot of work in between. I always give offer. Hopefully people take me up on my offer. Um, homework. And I've got, just some questions, value clarifications, some questions about, what's the worst that's going to happen? What's the best that's going to happen? What's your ideal thought about retirement? Who have you seen retire? Who have you seen retire that you like how they're retiring? So kind of those kind of opening up questions.
So the way you talk about this, and you had mentioned too that you have prior to this and alongside of this a therapy practice as well, and it just sounds to me so much like this is a different form almost of therapy. And I guess let me qualify that with this is that I saw a nutritionist for a little while, right? And it was like food therapy. Like I could go and talk about food and eating and all these things. Like it wasn't therapy, but it felt a little bit like food therapy, right? And so like this feels to me, and I know you've said that it is separate, but the way you talk about it in sessions and the way you are helping people and the way you are helping them help themselves, it feels a little bit like that. And so
The difference.
So talk to us about how it's different.
Okay. So the difference, and I've said this for a long time, I think as a therapist, I work with people in correcting what has happened to them in the past.
Right.
I also do that in kind of a coaching format because my background started out in short-term solution-focused therapy.
Okay.
Which I think is the parent to coaching. But I don't in my coaching practice, I'm very clear that we have goals that we're working towards outside here.
Right.
And I'm not there to talk about what your mother did or your father did or who hurt your feelings in sixth grade or, what kind of trauma you've had.
Right.
But I use my therapy background to kind of assess where are they and are there roadblocks that they're putting up that may hinder them from being able to create a good plan? Like, is there some long-term depression?
Okay.
Is there a lot of conflict in the marriage that hasn't been addressed?
Interesting. Yeah.
So, one of the things that I also do is how adverse are they to change? What are their thoughts about change? And I do that with my therapy clients and my coaching clients because I think that's a very important piece for people to understand. But I do not use I keep these practices very separate.
Sure.
And I don't use my coaching as a way to feed my private practice, and I don't use my private practice as a way to feed my coaching.
And I guess for me, not having been through either of these processes, really, I just the idea of you're helping them think through how they're going to accomplish something, and I guess in a very, very, very basic way, I made that connection. So I appreciate you talking to us about that. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Hopefully you'll tune in for my last conversation with Shelley. Thanks a whole lot for being here, and talk to you soon.
Thank you.